Okay, then now what we need to do is we need to open up our command prompt and we need to create the project. I already navigated to my desired folder location, so go ahead and move to your desired folder location where you need to create your project. So here I'm going to create a new directory. So new directory, I'm going to name it as REST API, and I'm going to move to that particular directory, and let me open up with the Visual Studio Code editor. So you're free to use whatever the code editor you wish to use. So I'm using Visual Studio Code editor for my this particular project. Okay, so now we created a project folder and we opened it up. Now we need to initialize the project. So before starting all these things, you need to make sure that you already have the Node.js in your machine. Okay, so if you don't have Node.js, and go ahead and search for Node.js and open up their official website and download the recommended for the most user version, because we don't want any unwanted problems. That's why. So download that and install it, and now go and open up your Visual Studio Code and open up your terminal. We are going to initialize the project first. To initialize the project, you need to run the command called npm init. So this will initialize our project. So hit it, and that will ask you to give a package name. I'm going to use my folder name as my package name, so press enter, and leave the same version, press enter, and the description is going to be we are creating the REST API using MongoDB. That's the project description. Hit it, and the entry point of my application is going to be app.js. Okay, I'm not going to use the index.js, I'm going to change it to app.js. And then test command is nothing, git repository nothing, keywords nothing, author it's going to be with Trail Ravi. A license nothing, and then everything is okay? Yes, absolutely okay. Hit it okay. Now you can see that it's created the package.json over here, and let me minimize it a little bit, and you can see that it's having all the details whatever I entered over there, our project name and the version number and the description what I given over there, and our main file, what is our main file, all those things. Okay, so now our package.json. Now what we need to do is we need to install two different packages to run our RESTful services. To create a RESTful services, I'm going to install a package called, what is this, why it's coming over here? Okay, npm install express. So this is the package we are going to use, express, to create the RESTful API services, to maintain the server and all those things. And we are going to use the nodemon, which helps me to run my main application file. Okay, so hit enter. So this will install all the required node modules packages from the node.js. Okay, so this will take a while, so sit tight until it gets done. So for me it's done now. Let me clear the screen. Okay, and now I'm going to make some changes over here. Anyway, we are not having any test command, so I'm just going to remove it, and then I'm going to write start. I need to start whenever I'm hit the command like npm start, it's need to run this command nodemon app.js. It should execute my app.js file, which is not yet created. Absolutely, we need to create it. Save the changes, and now here over here in the root directory, create a new file called app.js. Okay, so now we created our app.js. So inside this app.js, what you need to do is you need to configure your express app. So const express is equals require the express, the package which we installed now. Then I need to create an app, so I'm going to create an app called const app is equals express. So this will create our server. Now for the server, what I need to do, I need to have some middleware, and I need to have some routes and all those things. So we are going to discuss about the middleware, everything. I'll explain this middleware, how it works and everything later. And we need to configure the routes. So to configure the routes, routes is nothing but all the API services, like API routes, what we are going to create. So before going to much deeper inside it, you need to know about few functionalities, like this get method. What is the get method? What is the post method? We are going to discuss the basic CRUD operation, that means create, read, update, and delete. Okay, so get method is used to fetch the data. and you can say post method is used to push the data to the database, and then patch method is used for update, and finally we are having the delete method too. So we all know that delete method is absolutely used to delete the data. Okay, so let me bring it to a new line over here so that I can see it clearly. Okay, so here, these are the functions we are going to use in our API now. So let me create a route now. So I'm going to create a new route. So app.get. So whenever the user hits the home route, so slash, simply if it is an empty slash means that the home route. If anything comes through the home route, I'm going to pass two different parameter to this function, like request and the response. Okay, so whenever user hits this home route, send a request to the home route, I need to send a response as response.send, not this one, response.send. I'm going to send a response as I'm inside the home. Save the changes. So currently it doesn't make anything. It's do nothing because our server is not listening to any port. So we need to make sure that it's listening to a port. So create a listening port for our server. So we need to create a listening port. So for that, I'm going to use app.listen. Okay, app.listen. It's going to listen to the port number 3000. Okay, so it's going to listen to the port number 3000. Now it's pretty much done. Let's see whether this route is working fine or not. To start, we already configured the start over here. I'm just going to run the command npm start. That's it. If everything is working fine, that means it will start your node app.js. So that will trigger your app.js and it will start executing. Let me open the browser now and then I'll search for localhost 3000. And look at that. We are getting our route, our response back. It's giving the I'm inside the home. So let me create a new route and then let me verify one more time. App.get. And this time I'm going to create a new route called post. Okay, post, and this is going to be we are going to give a pass a request and we are going to pass the response and we are going to create a function, and the response I'm going to send back whenever the user requests through this route. I'm going to send the request as I'm inside the post. If I hit the save, now you can see that. Let me give a request like post over here and you can see that now it's having that I'm inside the post. If I give like slash over there, and you can see that it's running inside I'm inside the home. So currently everything is up and running fine, and now it's the time to configure our MongoDB. Okay, so to configure our MongoDB with this RESTful API project, what you need to do is we need to install one package called Mongoose. That's the package called npm install mongoose. So this package will helps you to configure and connect your MongoDB with your project. So let me install that package now. So this will install that necessary package. Here we go. So we installed it.